one of the main points that I wanted to highlight 1,000 times in Tools of Titans is that these people we put on a pedestal, these so-called superheroes, these icons, they're all flawed creatures who have managed to build habits and careers around one or two strengths.
You meet some of the most successful people in the world. If you could kind of extract a theme to a lot of these interviews, something that they all have in common, what would that be?
I would say they all ask absurd questions and they test assumptions by doing that. How could you accomplish your 10-year plan in the next 6 months? Or a question that Peter Diamandis, chairman of the X Prize, likes to ask entrepreneurs who are trying to get investment from him. He'll say, if you had to 10x the economics of your business in, say, the next 3 months, how would you do it? Whether they're asking themselves or asking people who work for them or work with them is, I'd say, one of the underlying commonalities.
When you look at the book, it's kind of just like this combination of all of these interviews you've done over the last years.
It's broken into 3 sections, so healthy, wealthy, and wise. In the healthy section, you'll find people you might not know by name, but like the former men's national gymnastics team coach,
Right.
who has a bunch of really fascinating exercises that have completely changed how my body functions. Let's say a whole slew of billionaires. So Mark Andreessen, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman, and the list goes on.
I keep hearing from even some of the most successful entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley, mindfulness. And why now are we beginning to talk about it, do you think?
That learning and training yourself to be non-reactive is very important. In a high-stress environment like, say, tech entrepreneurship, that's a huge competitive advantage. Better in negotiating, better in managing employees, better in potentially product design. So you're not, let's say, overreacting to what a handful of customers are complaining about. You find some type of mindfulness or meditation practice in more than 80% of the people I've interviewed. But you also find people who will listen to one song on repeat. This came up over and over again to get into the zone while they're focusing on writing or on, say, coding.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Just listen to one song on repeat.
You're effectively using it as a white noise machine for your thoughts that allows you to then focus more intently.
Whether it's the times I've interviewed you in the past about smart drugs and experimenting with your brain, or the 4-hour work week. With this book, you are talking to some of the most successful people in the world about how they get to where they're at, but also how they optimize.
My drug of choice is just that, oh my God, moment when I am taught or learn something that makes a common problem solved really elegantly or in a non-obvious way. That's just, for whatever reason, that's my high. So for instance, I didn't know how to swim until I was in my 30s. When Chris Sacca introduced me to total immersion swimming, and literally in 10 days I went from not being able to swim 1 lap to doing like 20, 30 laps for relaxation. That's just so mind-blowing to me. It's those eureka moments that are my drug of choice. So optimizing is just a way to get to that.